this is our YouTube channel. Welcome to our 8th and last round of the Eurocup-3 season. Today we are having the penultimate race of the season, race 1, with Esteban Masson starting in pole position, leading the overall standing by just 1 point over Mari Boya, starting in P5. Sebastian Ogier is also fighting for the title, with only 15 points behind Esteban Masson. The teams are also fighting for the title, with MP Motorsport in the top of the overall standings. That means that anything can happen today because nothing is decided yet. So, get yourself comfortable because green lights are almost on in Barcelona and the action is about to start. My colleague will continue giving you all the details about this race 1.
Gracias, Laura. We are under starters' orders. It's a fantastic getaway from Esteban Masson down to the first corner. We already have some big drama from Garcias and Ogier, who are trying to move their way forward. Mari Boya not getting the best of starts as the rest of the field clambers their way through the third corner as we complete the first sector. And Esteban Masson, having taken pole position and the extra 2 points that go with it, now increases his championship lead from 1 point to 3 points, with just 2 races left in the championship and 25 points, of course, available for the win. So it's very important that he maximises the opportunity. But the MP Motorsport team, trying to win the Eurocup-3 Teams Championship, have managed to break down the doors on Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya and move their way forward early doors. They are now 3rd and 4th. Garcias and Ogier trying to match the pace. Braschi getting a good start on Mari Boya. So Mari Boya finding his feet in P6 as the field works its way through on this opening lap. And around the outside, that is Mari Boya trying to make the move. Here's a replay of the start. Terrible start initially for Tzanapol in Dvrzak from second on the grid. But he was able to make a good run of it ahead of the MP Motorsport duo of Jose Garcias and Sebastian Ogier. Mari Boya struggling off the line from 6th position on the grid. He's the one who really has the big ground to make up here. But Sebastian Ogier definitely trying to maximise his opportunities and move his way forward. A good start initially from Ogier, but unfortunately he was not able to make the jump on into Dvrzak, and now he has fallen behind Boya and Braschi. So the championship contenders trying to take on Esteban Masson could well lose the championship in this first race if Masson wins and Braschi and Boya don't score enough points to stay with him in the title fight. Then this could be wrapped up on day 1. Esteban Masson leading the way from Taz into Dvrzak and Jose Garcias. Then Francesco Braschi, Mari Boya, Sebastian Ogier, and the second best rookie in the race so far, Bruno Del Pino, who has already won the rookie title. He won that last time out on the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia. But now it's time to see if Esteban Masson can cope with this pace. Don't forget, there is also a point for fastest lap, and every point counts when you've got 50 race points available. And now there are 4 bonus points available as well. There were 56 points on offer this weekend, now just 54, thanks to the first qualifying session being out of the way, and the pole position being sealed by Esteban Masson, so he has increased his lead in the championship. 3 points ahead of Mari Boya, 17 now in front of Sebastian Ogier, so it's really important for Boya and Ogier, the 2 MP Motorsport teammates, to try and stay in touch with the Campos man, Esteban Masson. We've already crowned 1 champion in the EFEDA race weekend here. We've obviously done a fantastic job in Spanish F4, Teofil Nal coming through to clinch the title in 3rd position in his first race of the weekend. However, Esteban Masson has got business up front. He wants to take the lead and run away with the pack here in Eurocup-3 in the first race of the weekend. Taz in Dvrzak missed the overtake in 2023 in 2nd position. So the 2 men up front are the 2 leaders of this race. Masson, the overall leader, into Dvrzak is 2nd place overall, but also the leader of the rookie fight. So excellent work indeed for him. Jose Garcias running in 3rd position in front of Francesco Braschi, then Mari Boya, Sebastian Ogier, Bruno Del Pino, and Suleiman Zanfari, the Moroccan, who was just announced this week. He has actually become the president of the IAMI Morocco karting series. So not only is he a single-seater racer, he's also running a championship back home in Morocco. What a busy boy he's going to be in 2024. Dan Nogales in 9th, Nick Gilks in 10th. And then Miron Pingazov, Emmo Fittipaldi Jr., and then Sebastian Gravland, Jorge Campos, Dario Cabanelas, George Jarafsky, Gianni Makajanis, and then Carl Bennett and Daniel Mavlyutyov finishing off the field here in fairly rhythmic fashion. There's Mari Boya, 5th position. Mari Boya fans need not despair at this point. He is in 5th position, but don't forget how in Monza earlier this year, he was able to bounce back from 6th position to charge through to take the victory. And it's a long race, Eurocup 3. Oh, and a spin! That is Dan Mavlytyov in the green bullet. So the GRS driver, Dan Mavlytyov, unfortunately spinning around there. I think that's up at turn 4. And it looks as though he is beached in the gravel. Now, this could actually bring out the safety car, which is great news for everybody except Esteban Masson. And safety car is indeed out. Safety car has been called. So the safety car will now hit the circuit, and that is very unfortunate news for Esteban Masson, but it's great for the title fight because it means that his two closest title attenders, Mari Boya and Sebastian Ogier, down in 5th and 6th, have a chance to catch up with him. Let's see what happened to Mavlytyov. It's actually at turn 5. Looks as though he lost it on the way in, but unfortunately he is beached in the gravel at the wrong part of the circuit. So safety car is out, as you can see, at the end of the pit lane, and they will catch Esteban Masson and Taz Intervivazak. So this is a chance for the MP Motorsport team drivers, Mari Boya and Sebastian Ogier, to regroup and reset the pace. There's obviously a lot still to do and a lot of racing still to come in this one. It should be fairly quick to remove Dan Mavlytyov's car because he's not embedded in the gravel too far. But it's obviously a bit of a headache for the team at the early part of proceedings. So it is a bit tricky, but it's certainly not done and dusted. So a fabulous situation then for all of the contenders. It'll be a really interesting situation for all of the competitors. So we are under safety car conditions then in the penultimate race of the season for Dan Mavlytyov. There's your race leader, Esteban Masson, who has just a 3-point lead in the championship with 54 points still available in this year's Eurocup 3 Championship, so it could still go anybody's way, this title fight. But Esteban Masson, who currently has the bonus point for the fastest lap as well, but it's very early doors, so we still don't really have the full complexion. It'll be fascinating to see who wraps up this Eurocup 3 Championship title. So with the safety car, obviously making sure that everything is well controlled. Mari Boya and Sebastian Ogier have managed to catch up to the pace again. There is Dan Mavlytyov, so he's perfectly okay. We expected as much. But it's a difficult situation now for Esteban Masson. Don't forget a few weeks back when he led the field off on the restart at Estoril. He was very aggressive on that restart and ended up getting a drive-through penalty, which really hampered his chances. So he doesn't want to be too aggressive on the restart again. Got to be so careful and so tactical about how they make things go. Now, the safety car can't peel in at the end of this lap because the recovery truck is not quite back in its original reset position. So they have to go around one more time to obviously set the pace. So it looks like we're only going to be under safety car for 2 laps, which is very good news for all of the race fans out there. And I'm sure there's plenty of you very keen indeed to see which of our 3 championship contenders, Esteban Masson, Mari Boya or Sebastian Ogier, are going to come through to become the first ever Eurocup 3 champion. It'll be tricky, tough to tell who's going to get the job done. But Esteban Masson in front of Taz Intervivazak at the moment, from Jose Garcias, Francesco Brunaschi. Then it is Mari Boya and Sebastian Ogier. We're going to see again what happened at the start. Now, this is a very big bog down for Taz Intervivazak, but it's almost civil war at the MP Motorsport team because Garcias and Ogier got very close together. They actually had to get out of the throttle in order to not hit each other. And you can see Francesco Brunaschi trying to break through in the middle of the deck there as well. Second, third and fourth place men almost tripping over each other, and that actually is Garcias running wide and allowing your man Taz Intervivazak to come through and move up into second position. A big run wide in the midfield. I think that was one of the Palou cars running wide. That might have been Emmo Fittipaldi, who had been starting right in the middle of the field. Of course, rather unfortunate with that we no longer have Segreira still in the field. Javier Segreira, who started the season very well indeed for the Palou Motorsport team, was not able to finish the year. But the Palou Motorsport team certainly with some very competitive drivers here to finish off the season this weekend. The likes of Emmo Fittipaldi, Miron Pingazov, Georgios Makajanis and Jorge Campos in the team. GRS Team drivers, Dan Nogales and Nick Gilks, still in the field, along with Georgi Żurawski, their teammate. Then, of course, the Santaloc driver, just the one lone Santaloc racing driver, Dario Cabanelas, but there's one lone Santaloc race driver crew in this team. But on the day that the squad have obviously triumphed in fantastic fashion with David Nal in Spanish F4. The lights are still on the safety car. I imagine them to go out very soon. They do indeed. So Masson can now back up the pack. A little bit of a late break there for Marty Boyer. He's got to be careful that he doesn't overtake Francesco Braschi under the safety car. But he should be perfectly okay. The young Spanish charge that has obviously dovetailed his Eurocup-3 campaign with the FIA Formula 3 Championship on the Formula 1 weekend this season. But the safety car is in this lap. If you've only just joined us, you haven't missed much. Just a spin from Dan Mavluti over the back of the field, and the battle for the title is going to be joined. Jake Sanson here with you in the commentary box, and Esteban Masson has gone to drop the hammer nice and early. So there's no risk of a drive-through penalty for Big Tactics this time. He has just dropped the hammer and gone for it. Well clear of Taz and de Veuvezak as they come out of the final turn and onto the home straight here at the Catalunya circuit. It's green, 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 and Masson is already trying to get well clear of Inter Veuvezak. Garfias, Braschi, Boyer, Uga, Del Pino and Suleiman Zanfari. And already Marty Boyer is stepping up the attack on Francesco Braschi. He's having to try and shake him off, and he's through in a fourth position. Very nicely done from Marty Boyer. So the comeback charge is on. Sebastian Ogier currently dealing with his teammate Bruno Del Pino. Del Pino trying to get in on the inside. Careful, boys. You do not want to take each other out, because that really would spell the end of Sebastian Ogier's title offense. Trying his best there, Bruno Del Pino back diving on the inside of Ogier. You've got to give each other room. Unfortunately, they do just that. So Ogier has the inside line ready for the next corner. Del Pino hangs back. Nicely done between the teammates. No civil war in the boys in orange. Masson leads into Veuvezak second, then Garfias and Boyer. Braschi is fifth, Ogier in sixth position, Del Pino and Zanfari. Unfortunately for Sebastian Ogier, sixth position is not going to be enough to keep his title hopes alive. Side by side at the inside, that's a big dive from Dan Nogales and Milan Pingasov. Having a great duel, the two of them, as they go onto the back straight again. One of them's going to have to blink first into the braking zone. There could be a very late charge on the brakes, and side by side they go. Not a lot of space to maneuver. You've got to be careful. Well, three teams there going to battle, because you've got the Campos, the Palou Motorsport car, and the Drivex machine. They all look very similar, but they are in fact three different teams. It looks to me as though Fittipaldi was able to get the move there to split Nogales and Pingasov. In fact, no, Pingasov got the move on Nogales. Fittipaldi was crowded out. So through they come again. 18 minutes plus the additional lap to go here at Catalunya. And going up to the first corner once again, Masson has built a decent lead already on Inter Veuvezak. 1.5 seconds. Garfias is running there in third position. Then Marty Boyer, Braschi, Ogier and Del Pino. Esteban Masson really does look like a man ready to become Eurocup-3 champion here. He's already got himself into a very strong position. Qualifying went beautifully, but what a fantastic run. So this is a very exciting challenge so far. But Esteban Masson looks as though he's got this race already wrapped up, and that will definitely take him one step closer to the title. He can't win the title today realistically unless both Boyer and Ogier fail to score points and Masson wins the race. Still a long way to go, of course. 17 minutes plus the additional lap in tow. But Garfias looking good for a move here on Taz and de Veuvezak. He needs to get close enough to him to really step onto the attack. I don't think that's really going to happen until they get to the braking zone for turn one. Look at the wobble from Garfias' car as he twitches under braking. You can see there the crews on the pit wall getting quite nervous as these guys are starting to step up the attack once again. But Masson is just gone. He is galloping away up front. No issues at all for Esteban Masson. Came into this weekend with just a 1 point advantage over Marty Boyer. Practically a dead heat between them, and ever since the beginning of qualifying, he has just looked invincible. 2 bonus points to get the pole position earlier in qualifying. That extends his lead from 1 to 3 points. But there's 25 available for this first win, and another bonus available for the fastest lap. So he could, in theory, pull quite a considerable margin in front of Marty Boyer. If it ends like this, of course, Marty Boyer is looking at scoring a 12-point finish, so that would be 13 points gained on Marty Boyer heading into tomorrow. That means he wouldn't be champion today, but he would certainly be in a much better position to get the title done in tomorrow's final race. There is Taz and de Veuvezak trying to stay as close to his teammate as possible. But Taz and de Veuvezak definitely looking to achieve a rookie victory. doing a fabulous job at the moment. Garfias, Boya, Braschi and Ugyar rounding out the top 6 for poor Sebastian Ugyar. It looks as if the dream is fading fast, as he is currently down in 6th position. And with the gap between himself and Esteban Masson currently at 17 points, a 6th place finish will be a difference of 17 points just from this race alone. So if Sebastian Ugyar stays down in P6, he will be knocked out of the championship fight. Here's how Boya got past Braschi. Just pure confidence on the straight on the restart. Was close enough to the rear wing, and that's a big lunge from further back as well. As the two Campos teammates, Bruno Del Pino and Sebastian Ugyar, went to battle. But Ugyar was able to hold on to his position from his young teammate. So Bruno Del Pino not able to finish the job. And they've already got a lot of pressure coming in from the Moroccan star Suleiman Zanfari in the Campos. Here we go. Halfway through this race now. It's flashed by in a heartbeat, hasn't it? But Esteban Masson 3 seconds clear of Taz in the Vivazak. I have to stress just how impressive that is when you consider that these guys are in the same car. It's one identical race car. It's just how the team prepares it and how the driver puts his foot on the gas and drives it. The Esteban Masson just stretching out his lead. Another new fastest lap, a 1:37.4 from the Frenchman, who is absolutely cantering away. I should tell you, nobody else on the circuit has been able to even get into the 1:37 mark. Never mind compete with that lap time. Everyone else is in the 1:38s at this moment in time. So Esteban Masson absolutely designing himself and manifesting this Eurocup-3 Championship title at the moment. Here is Garfias, the Mexican, currently a second a lap slower than Esteban Masson. That's just the difference between Masson in his current frame of mind and the rest of the field. He is a masterclass in action. And there is Marty Boyer, the closest challenger to Esteban Masson, still 0.6 of a second off his pace. How much of that is traffic and how much of that is just not having the same sort of pace as the Campos Racing Team driver from France has? Marty Boyer still trying to get close to his teammate though. And he'll be the one getting on the radio to the MP Motorsport team. Come on, I'm the one who has the chance to win the championship here. Jose Garfias does not. He can still score points, but I can be champion. Can we do something here? Of course, Campos Racing have cars 1, 2 and 5. MP Motorsport have cars 3, 4 and 6 at the moment. So in the team's championship, that's quite important as well. Marty Boyer does not have a lot of time here to get past Garfias. If they can't beat Masson, then they have to take as little a dent in the championship fight as physically possible. There is Sebastian Ugyar, 6th position at this moment, having a really tricky run as they continue in fine form. So a fascinating situation as Bruno Del Pino continues on his way in 2nd place in the rookie category, 7th place overall. And the man chasing him down is this man, Suleiman Zanfari, the Moroccan, with the Campos Racing Team. Took time out of his busy single-seater schedule when he's not running the Ayami Series Morocco, which he's building for next year, but he was also racing in the FIA Karting World Championship at Franciacorta last month in fantastic fashion, supporting his sister Sofia, as the two of them went into the World Championship for the first time. Well, certainly not the first time for Zanfari, but for the first time for quite some time. Sofia, however, it was her debut. So now we've got a little bit of an interesting contretemps developing here. Garfias, a second back from Inter Vivazak, and Marty Boyer in 4th position. Now Marty Boyer will be thinking, Jose, you need to get out of the way, because I can be faster than you, and I can close up on Taz in the Vivazak, and I can get in a 2nd place, and that keeps the title fight relatively alive for tomorrow. But Garfias may not see it that way. So down the straight, Boyer has got Garfias lined up. Is he going to be close enough into turn 1 to have a go? He's definitely reeling in. Garfias is trying to hold him back. This is counterproductive. Garfias shaking off Boyer. He clearly feels, well, I'm not in the title fight, but I want to finish on the podium. Clearly, Jose Garfias' attitude is it's every man for himself, and Marty Boyer will not take kindly to that from the young Mexican. And this is really hampering Marty Boyer's chances, being held up by his own teammate. But this isn't Formula 1. Every driver in Eurocup-3 is trying to prove to everybody that they can be a future Grand Prix star. Mistake from Garfias. Is that going to be the chance that Boyer needs to get closer again? Garfias has got to be very careful not to overcook the tyres here. It's very cool at this time of the evening here in Barcelona. Coming up to 5 p.m. local time. This is really important now for Marty Boyer to make the best of the situation. He works his way down the straight. Look at it, the Furvazak, he's 4 seconds back nearly from the race leader, Esteban Masson. Couldn't be any worse, really, for Marty Boyer and Sebastian Ogier. For Ogier in particular, this is looking like the championship fight is over. If he can't get out of P6 and he's only got 10 minutes to do something drastic to turn this race around, then certainly for one man of the three, it's game over. For the other two, it'll go into tomorrow. But Marty Boyer has got to stay hungry out there, and Jose Garfias is clearly revved up and determined to keep him back. Down the straight again. Masson long gone, into Furvazak second. Garfias just holding his nerve, along with his teammate Marty Boyer. There is Esteban Masson. He's in a different race at the moment, up in front. Just loving life. A 1:37.3 for him at the moment. So relaxed, so calm, under no pressure at all. And he is stretching out his advantage. All of the difficulties, all of the headaches, the pitch around for a spin into retirement from Garfias at Jerez, the drive-through penalty at Estoril, all of that has washed away now for Esteban Masson. And he is in his A-game on the Spanish Grand Prix venue here at the Circuit de Catalunya. Exactly what he wanted. And now Masson is in the driving seat to be Eurocup-3 champion, the first ever. Through the S's comes Marty Boyer, still trying to stay close to Jose Garfias. Let's have a look back and see what happened when Garfias defended his position from Marty Boyer. He defended twice, and Marty Boyer's not going to be happy. He's supposed to move once, he will say, and Garfias definitely moved twice. So that'll be a moment of contention in the MP garage later. And Marty Boyer will look at that as the moment that he was denied the chance to go for the podium in the championship showdown weekend. I wonder what the tension and the atmosphere is going to be like after the race, with Marty Boyer feeling the way he does towards Jose Garfias. He comes off the final turn again. The trouble is, having made that bid, he's now lost momentum to his Mexican teammate. And for 2 laps straight, he's not been able to get close enough to try again. He's half a second back at the line, but you need to have a little bit more in hand to make this work. You need to be even closer still. And this is not an easy situation to be in. I tell you what, Campos are having an absolute fairy tale weekend, exactly when they need to. They can try and close up on these boys, MP Motorsport, in the title fight. But it is not going to be easy to overhaul their score. Esteban Masson, though, out in front. He's doing everything he can to take the championship destiny into his own hands. Driving like a magician out there at the moment. 4.3 seconds clear of Taz into Furvazak. That is just monstrous pace from Esteban Masson. Clearly the man who is on form. Garfias running a little bit deep at the chicane. Got to be so careful. Track limits can be very edgy here, as the drivers have found out more than once this weekend. Look at Boyer, really fired up and motivated now to go for Garfias again. Trying to push Garfias into a mistake. Wants him to run wide, wants him to get the better run off the corner. They've got very different lines, actually, Garfias and Boyer. Garfias takes a much wider trajectory through the Caixa, whereas Boyer takes the more conventional approach. But Boyer definitely looks closer now than he was before. Up to the final chicane, final corner. In through the right, onto the main straight. Boyer definitely looks a little bit more fired up. He looks closer, he looks motivated, but what's he going to get to do? What will Garfias force him to do? He's got to make a bold move. Right up to the pit wall, and Garfias actually goes into the pit exit in the bid to keep Marty Boyer at bay. He's going to go long. Boyer can go slow in, fast out to try and get the position back. He'll try, but Garfias covers him. Boyer now dives for the inside. Come on, Jose, what are you doing? Marty Boyer is enraged. Jose Garfias in third position has every opportunity to get a podium himself. Marty Boyer desperate to keep the championship fight going, and he will not be happy at all with his teammate. I thought you were my friend. I thought you were in this to help me. No, I'm not, says Jose Garfias. I'm in this to help myself. The Mexican holds on to third position for the time being. But all that hard work has been undone now for Marty Boyer. He's got to do another 2 laps of hard work to have another go. Let's see how it happened. Look, Garfias actually driving into the pit lane entry over the rumble strip. Now, Boyer did have a wing in front, but Garfias went very long in and then chopped right across the bow of Marty Boyer's car, not once, but twice in the following two apexes. So there was no chance for Marty Boyer to get the opportunity back again. And I tell you what, the Spaniard will be absolutely furious. Trying his best to get through on Jose Garfias, but Garfias, who's already had his headaches this season, he wants to finish strong and set the precedent for next year. I'm not a pushover. He's fourth in the championship and he wants to beat Francesco Braschi to that accolade. So he's in his own private battle. I couldn't care squat about Marty Boyer. I've got my own race to do, thank you very much. I want to be on the podium. Again, look, Marty Boyer's got to do another lap of this to stand any chance of getting close enough to Garfias to have another go. Any chance he might have had of catching up to Taz in the Wurtzak and taking second place away from him is now long gone. And Masson is 5.2 seconds, 5.4 seconds now at the split. Far away. That is just astonishing how far he's disappeared. So Garfias, Boyer, Braschi, Sebastian Ogier in sixth position. I'm afraid, Sebastian Ogier fans, this is likely to be the last dance. With Ogier down in sixth position and Masson in the lead, I'm afraid that gap is going to be insurmountable for Sebastian Ogier to do anything about it. Because Esteban Masson is going to pull out another 17 points on Sebastian Ogier, and the gap was already 17 points, so that means that at the end of this race, it'll be 34 points. Well, no, it'll actually be 35 points clear of Ogier because he's going to take the win, but he's also going to take the fastest lap as well. This is going to be the mother of all Grand Slams for Esteban Masson. Pole position, fastest lap, led every lap, and absolutely sprinted away to the victory. 6 seconds clear of Taz in the Wurtzak at this point. That is just astonishing. Absolutely amazing run from Esteban Masson. No one's going to win this championship unless his name is Esteban, as far as the Frenchman is concerned. That is just incredible. But again, Garfias has managed to keep himself far enough ahead of Marty Boyer to hold on to third for the time being. Boyer's going to really need one more shot at this. And there is Sebastian Ogier, just keeping the faith. That's all he can do at this point. He's 3 seconds back from Marty Boyer. And realistically, it's going to be game over for him. The only way to keep this fight alive now for Sebastian Ogier is to be third. In fact, no, he has to finish second to Masson in this race to stand any chance of the title fight still going. And even then, with Masson getting the fastest lap, that would be game over. Ogier needed to finish ahead of Masson to keep his championship hopes alive, and that's just not the way this race has played out for him, unfortunately. But the Dane has been amazing this year. He's had a fantastic run in the 2023 season. Took his win in Jerez, of course. 5 second-place finishes. And he has actually scored points in every single race this year, which is something that even Esteban Masson and Marty Boyer cannot say they've done. So fair play to Sebastian Ogier. The problem is, those points finishes were not always good enough to beat Masson or Boyer. His consistency cannot be underwritten here, Sebastian Ogier. And he's definitely going to be a safe pair of hands for the future. You can definitely see him getting to the podium at the Le Mans 24 Hours someday. Watching the radar. And look at that gap between Masson and the Wurtzak. It is gigantic. Into the 17th lap. And for my money, it's going to be this one plus 2 more. So Masson is on the anti-penultimate lap. 136.7. That's just... I can't find any more superlatives that do Esteban Masson's race justice. Everybody is now creeping into the 137s, but Masson has already found a 136.7. And that is just extraordinary. The only person that can get anywhere near close to that in this race is Taz in the Wurtzak, and his best is a 137.6. Almost a second slower. That tells you just how good Esteban Masson has been in this race. There is Taz in the Wurtzak, running in second place and having checked out from the 2 MP Motorsport boys. This definitely keeps the Campos freight train going into another day. And they absolutely need the points to try and topple MP Motorsport, because the Campos Motorsport team are 30 points to the deficit of MP Motorsport coming into this weekend. And their best 2 results per race count, of course. So a 1-2 is going to be just what the doctor ordered, because that's going to be 43 points compared to the MP Motorsport team, who are looking at 27 points. And that is going to be a swing of 16 points deficit. So that's going to cut the gap between Campos and MP in half. If they do that again tomorrow, then Campos will just, and I do mean just, steal the team's title from MP Motorsport. But it is going to be a very tough weekend for the team to hold on to that. Masson and Fittipaldi are doing exactly what they need to do. Do this today, do this tomorrow, and MP Motorsport will be vanquished. Here we go! Now Mari Boy is going to go the long way round and finally get his man. Oh, they come together! Garfias goes off. Mari Boyer was not prepared to wait anymore. And Garfias has gone off. Now, they could judge there that Mari Boyer has basically crashed into his teammate. And that essentially means that the title could be won, because Mari Boyer could end up with a penalty for that. And Mari Boyer could be in all sorts of trouble here. Ergaard moves up to 5th position, yes, but he needs to beat Masson to win the championship. Boyer could end up with a penalty for that. I'm almost certain that that's going to be investigated. And if he does get a penalty, that is going to be a nightmare for Mari Boyer. And Jose Garfias will not get a penalty in the penultimate race of the season. Will not get a podium, sorry, in the penultimate race of the season. I don't think he'll get a penalty either. But that is disastrous. There's a 3-second penalty, by the way, being given to the number 26. That is Jorge Campos for track limits. But now Boyer is under all sorts of pressure from the stewards and from Francesco Braschi. This is exactly what Campos needed. Because now, all of a sudden, the MP Motorsport team are set to score fewer points than they were originally. Esteban Masson has already gone into the final lap, 8 seconds clear of Taz in the Ververzak. Goodness me. Talk about drama. There's definitely going to be some ignominious words in the MP Motorsport garage after this one. And I just wonder what sort of penalty could be coming the way of Mari Boyer for the incident. Let's have a look at it. So Garfias holds the inside line. Mari goes the long way. Was there contact? Yeah, there was, because Boyer hopped over the curbs and went straight into the side of his teammate. That was not malicious at all, but it doesn't matter. The outcome is still the same. Garfias spat off into the gravel at turn 2 at the hands of Mari Boyer. Now, we're on the final lap. There will not be a safety car finish, but it couldn't be more dramatic for Mari Boyer. That could be the end of his championship fight. It's all but won by mathematics now, because if Mari Boyer gets a penalty, then Esteban Masson is going to have a huge advantage going into tomorrow's final. He barely needs to even show up, really, but he will. And no doubt the way he's driving today, if he does it again tomorrow, Esteban Masson will be the ultimate king of Eurocup 3. He did the double at Aragon. He did the double at Zandvoort. He won race 1 at Estoril and Valencia. Now he's going to get the job done again in race 1 for the 3rd consecutive weekend. Esteban Masson crushes the opposition to a pulp here in Catalonia. 1 race away from winning the championship in majestic fashion. His 7th win of the season. Absolutely massive. What a phenomenon Esteban Masson has become in this one. Taz de Ververzak crosses the line in 2nd place to take the rookie win. A great job for him. That championship, of course, the rookie points have already been won by Bruno Del Pino. But what a result that is for Taz de Ververzak. A great performance from him. 2nd position, and it's the maximum points for Campos when the MP Motorsport team could well take a penalty. What a phenomenal showdown. But it looks like it's all going the way of Esteban Masson and the Campos Racing team. Superb job from Esteban Masson. One of the drives of the season. I mean, that's got to be up there with his charge back to victory at Zandvoort Race 1 and to Mari Boyer's incredible surge and resurgence at Monza. But in terms of just crushing the opposition and not letting anyone have a look in, Esteban Masson has effectively put one hand on the Eurocup-3 Championship title. It's game, it's set. Tomorrow, it could be match. What a performance from Esteban Masson and Taz Intervivazak. The class of the field. Marty Boyer will not want to speak to anybody after this. Finishes third on the road. It would not shock me at all. There you go. The incident in turn 2 is going to be investigated after the race, so stay tuned on this one, folks. I don't think we've heard the last of this between Garcias and Boyer. And it could have massive ramifications for the Eurocup-3 Championship title fight. It could basically leave Mari Boyer with barely a leg to stand on. Sebastian Ogier finishes in 4th place, but I'm afraid even if he's promoted to the podium, it will not be enough to keep his championship hopes alive, because Masson will outscore him by 10, and that will put him 27 points away. Arguably, yes, there are 28 points available, but not when you count that Masson has taken the bonus point. That would put him 28 points clear with 28 points available. 3rd place, Mari Boyer. He's not happy. He knows that there's a good chance he'll get a penalty for that, I'm sure. He's not stupid. He'll know that that 3rd position is under a cloud. But Esteban Masson, what a result. And what a drive, it has to be said. Absolutely smashing the opposition. Mari Boyer, too incensed and too enraged with the way that race played out to even congratulate Esteban Masson. But for the Campos Racing team and Esteban Masson, the Frenchman, that is job done. One step away from winning this championship title. A miracle will prevent him from winning the championship tomorrow. Time for Mari Boyer to start believing in miracles, because the form that this man is in, it's almost done and dusted. Full credit to the Campos Racing team. They've worked very hard all year with Esteban Masson. He's not always been able to take opportunities, but I tell you what, when he's in the right frame of mind, when his car is giving him what he needs from it, and when he's in the right mindset, he's unstoppable. Quite a lot of decent Frenchmen have come through the junior ranks over the years. Jean-Éric Vergne, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, the late great Antoine Hubert, all spring to mind. Esteban Masson is definitely starting to look like the next Frenchman in line. There are several others up the ladder, of course, don't forget, in Formula 2 and Formula 3, but the way that Esteban Masson is currently performing, the sky's the limit. Super composed, super mature, not overstretching himself. A great result for Esteban Masson. Such a lovable, delightful young man as well. Well, Esteban Masson was already gone by the time they got through turn 1 as we look back over the highlights of this fantastic penultimate race of the season. The squabbles then came in from the 2 MP Motorsport teammates, a race that would go on throughout between Jose Garcias of Mexico and Mari Boyer of Spain. Masson, oblivious to it all, stretching away out front as his title opponents Ogier and Boyer slipped away. There would be battles all the way through in the midfield. No major shake-ups, but a very tough opposition. Boyer managed to deal with Brushy on the restart. Once he was into 4th place, it was time for him to storm on. Del Pino gave Ogier the space he needed to keep racing, but Sebastian Ogier's title attack is now pretty much dead in the water. But the real drama of the race may not even be over yet, as Marty Boyer battled away with his teammate Jose Garcias, and now there could be a post-race drama. For the moment, Esteban Masson is the winner from Taz Intervivazak, his teammate, with Marty Boyer in 3rd. Sebastian Ogier in 4th place from Francesco Braschi and Bruno Del Pino. Suleiman Zanfari and Miron Bingazov from Dan Nogales, and Emmo Fittipaldi Jr., the final point scorer for the Palou Motorsport team. Nick Gilks in 11th from Gravland and Dario Cabanelas, then Jorge Campos and Georgios Markogiannis, Georgi Zhidavsky, Carl Bennett, and the man out of the race, Garcias.
In the race. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously I did a mega start, super happy about this. It was my job before the race and I knew it. And then I managed to race from P1. I mean, it was a clean race with a lot of pace, so I would like to thank the whole team because we did a mega job this weekend. And yeah, just managed the pace, managed the safety car restart, and claim this win, so it's more about the points. So I'm really happy to claim 25 points plus the fastest lap. So yeah, happy about today. Now we need to focus on tomorrow, because tomorrow will be the big day for the championship. So everything is to play still, so focused on tomorrow.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Such a formidable young man, Esteban Masson. In this second half of the season, he has really grown. And he's looking to be a formidable force. All he needs is a decent night's sleep tomorrow and to turn up bright as buttons. And he'll be on song to be the first ever Eurocup-3 champion. Here's the fabulous battle that we saw in the middle of the race. Townsend de Vivazak managing to bring it home in second place. That's good for him. I'll tell you what, he has been Mr. Overtake in 2023. It's been great to see him come up with a decent result at the end of the season, but the big drama in the second half of the race was between teammates. It shouldn't have been, but Marty Boyer caught up to his Mexican teammate Jose Garfias, and Garfias was relentless. He did not want Marty Boyer to get through. Not only once did he hold him back, but twice. By the end of the race, Marty Boyer had had enough. And it could be a very difficult conversation that the MP Motorsport team has with its drivers at the end of this one, particularly considering that the incoming penalty that may come the way of Marty Boyer could be enough to deny him any realistic chance of becoming champion in 2023 in Eurocup-3. It was always going to be a dramatic conclusion, but Marty Boyer sweeping onto the curve and then tagging into the side of Jose Garfias. So unfortunate, but it could cost him not just the podium, but also the Eurocup-3 title. As the sun sets here at the Circuit de Catalunya, we'll have one final podium ceremony on the Grand Prix circuit before we say adios for tomorrow. But what a battle it has been in this one, and certainly for Esteban Masson in particular. He has proven himself to be quite the formidable character and just dominating. His fastest lap, get this, a 1:36.7. The next fastest lap was from Townsend de Vivazak, a 1:37.3. That is just unbelievable, the difference in pace. But it shows you just how comfortable, how composed, and how cool as a cucumber Esteban Masson has proven to be in this one. It's a very tricky situation. There are 28 points still to play for tomorrow, so even if Marty Boyer dropped out of the points, there would be a gap of 27, which means that if Masson would take the pole position tomorrow, he could win the championship before the race even begins. So you'll have to stay on tenterhooks. It seems rather sad, but the title could actually be won behind closed doors here. Second place behind the race winner, Townsend de Vivazak. He can be very happy with that. But on the top step of the podium, not for the first time this year, but the 7th, Esteban Masson. For the 3rd weekend in a row, he wins race 1. He's out there with social media on the podium. A fabulous performance from Esteban Masson and the Campos team. They could turn this team's title attack around at the final hour. What an opportunity for Esteban Masson and Campos. Could they do the double tomorrow? As La Marseillaise rings out over the podium. A fabulous, fabulous performance from Esteban Masson, the Frenchman. And he is just a handful of points away from wrapping up the first ever Eurocup-3 title. Marty Boyer is congratulated for 3rd position. That might just be brief, but at least he can celebrate his season having fought all the way to the death for the title fight. But it just shows you that motorsport is tough, it is demanding, it is cruel. And drivers of this young, tender age make their mistakes in front of the world stage. It's not like football, it's not like cricket, it's not like tennis or rugby. When you don't really show your mistakes in public, you're polished when you get to the first team, and that's when you show your skills to the world. In motorsport, you are under the microscope of the world's press and media from the age of 9 on the international stage. It's so much tougher to be a racing driver than it is to be any other athlete. You develop in front of the world. It's cruel, it's brutal, but it's motorsport. It is the toughest, roughest form of sport in the world. And you and I are just in awe of the men and women that do it. So Esteban Masson takes the victory in front of Tarzan de Vivazak and Mari Boya. Things may change overnight, but one thing is for sure. For the 7th time in 2023, Eurocup 3 has been conquered by Esteban Masson. There's one more race to come tomorrow, and we will crown a champion. Will it be Esteban Masson, or will it be Mari Boya? We will find out. For now, it's goodbye from Jake Sanson and the whole Eurocup 3 team here in Catalunya. Adios, amigos!